What's going on, you guys? Petplatypus here, and it's time to talk about The Legend of Korra Book 3 Change for Avatar Month, celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Avatar The Last Airbender franchise. And in my humble opinion, the best season of The Legend of Korra. And it's my humble opinion, which means I am right and you are wrong. I'm kidding, relax, simmer down. Opinions are opinions, but I do think objectively there are strong arguments to make about this being the strongest season from a writing structure standpoint. But again, it is just my opinion that it is the best season of The Legend of Korra. And I will get into the review, but first I gotta settle some leftovers from the Season 2 review that I forgot to mention. First off, the animation. Now I know what you're thinking, Petplatypus, what even is there to say about the animation? Every single review you're like, the animation's amazing. It's Avatar The Last Airbender, it's The Legend of Korra. The standard is so high, the animation's amazing, right? Well, they brought in a different studio for the first half. I don't know if this was because they had to rush production, but they brought in a different studio to do the first half of the second season, and it suffered. It's still great animation, don't get me wrong. It's still great, but the standard is set so high by Avatar and by the original season of Legend of Korra that it's substandard animation, and that does not mean bad. Like I said, the standard is like an 11, substandard is like an 8. Like Season 2's animation in the first half is still great, it's just substandard, so yeah, even from an animation standpoint, Season 2 is the weakest in terms of animation. The second half looks great, the Avatar 1 stuff looks great, but yeah, they brought in Studio Period, I believe they are called. They've done work on Naruto, Naruto Shippuden, Bleach. This one anime, it has like this dude in middle school, and he hunts demons. He's like a detective, kinda. He has like a friend with a pompadour, and this dude has like a whip with thorns on it. I don't know. If you guys, it kinda rings a bell in my head, but I don't know. Maybe you guys know what anime I'm talking about. I don't remember. But all jokes aside, now the other part. Spirits mixing with the human world. I did not mention that. It's one of the most important things of Season 2. I gotta mention it here, even though it really doesn't have a lot of relevance in Seasons 3 or 4. Well, yeah, kind of in Season 4, but not so much in Season 3. So, you know, but it's worth mentioning that spirits and humans are mixed again, like they were in the Avatar 1 days. Kind of big that Korra did that, so it's worth mentioning. Now for the actual Book 3 Change review. Okay, so for the setup. Now, I'll be honest, guys. I have not seen Season 3 since I watched it way back when I did the individual episode reviews of the series from Episode 1. That was a few months ago. I do not remember everything that happened. I did watch Seasons 1 and 2 recently. I was rewatching them with a friend, but I haven't gotten the chance to do Season 3 yet, and I gotta get the video out, so I'm reviewing it kinda blind. I'm a fucking sniper with a lens cap on my scope. I don't care if that makes sense. Fuck it. So, going in blind, see how this review goes. But the setup, as I was saying before, airbenders are popping up everywhere. Boomy's an airbender, this one nerdy guy's an airbender, this one little thief kid's an earthbender, I think his name was Kai, maybe. Airbenders are popping up everywhere. I think it's because of the spiritual energy from the spirits that they're giving off that's mixed in with the world now that the two worlds are merged. And the basic plot is Tenzin and his group and Korra, they're going to go around finding these airbenders and recruiting them, well, not recruiting, but bringing them together to kind of bring back the airbending nation, the air nomads, which is cool. It's a really interesting setup. It definitely changes the world of the series very drastically. Not as drastically as mixing the spirits and humans, but still, it's pretty drastic to have the air nation back. The other part of the plot is the Red Lotus. Oh, fuck, the Red Lotus. Epic badasses. But anyways, they break out of jail because their leader, who studies airbender philosophy and air nomad philosophy, same thing, but you know what I mean. And, you know, the whole Zen, Buddha, monk style, he ends up getting airbending. He breaks out, frees his friends, and they're going to try and kill Korra for their crazy anarchy, you know, all chaos is balance agenda. And that's the setup, and it's a very good setup. So I guess I'll go into the characters now. For characters, there isn't a ton of character development for the main cast, if I'm remembering correctly. Mako's a better character because there's no more romance to make him look like a douchebag, so he's a better character. Bolin, again, he doesn't really get serious too often, or if ever, but he's still fun, he's still really funny. He learns to lava bend, which is extremely badass. Asami, same character as always. Maybe she changes a little. I don't think so, though. Again, I could be wrong. There could have been huge character development for them. I don't remember. Korra, pretty much the same thing. She does develop a bit, but I don't remember all of it. And it mainly comes in towards the end with the poison and the paralyzed body that goes into the next season. But yeah, Korra, she does get some character development here and there, but I don't remember all of it. I do apologize. That's the main cast, though. The side cast. Tenzin, Beifong, and a couple other side characters do get some decent character development. Well, mainly just those two, but for Tenzin, he kind of has to become a teacher of an entire group instead of just Korra, and Boomy's being a class clown and antagonizing him, and he's not really breaking through to them because they don't know about this whole monk life. It's kind of weird to them. It's kind of lame. They're like, really, we got to shave our heads? Like, what the fuck? So yeah, he's having trouble with that, but he develops and he grows and he kind of accepts that Jinora is becoming a really good airbender, and he kind of has to accept that she's going to be getting her tattoos pretty soon. So there's that. Jinora as a character actually gets a little bit more screen time now. She's much better with her spiritual control. She can like leave her body and go look around and stuff. Maybe that comes in season 4, but she can kind of do it in season 3, I'm pretty sure. And she meets this boy who's an airbender named Kai, and they kind of form a little romance, and it's kind of nice, whatever. Bolin also, he kind of forms a romance with a character. So there is romance still, it's just not the Mako, or not Mako, oh yeah, Mako. It's just not the Mako, Korra, fucking Asami bullshit. So yeah, that's always a plus. Lin Beifong, back to being awesome. She's over her fucking diet of stupid pills and smashing her head with a hammer from season 2, and she's actually intelligent and badass. And kind of vulnerable. She's actually a little bit of a different character. They go to this metal city, which has a wonderful design. I'll get to that in the pros. And they meet her sister, Toph's other daughter, and they have a family beef. We find out how she got the scars on her cheek and everything, and it's just really, really cool. We see Toph when she's young, again, being a mother. That was cool as well. But yeah, we see her sister, and she's an okay character too. She develops in, reuniting with Lin and kind of being a family again, and we also see her family, and not really much to say. Her family's just kind of a bunch of gimmick characters. A couple of twins who always like having fun, the tortured artist, her husband, and like another son who's like a mechanic or whatever. We see more of him in season 4. But yeah, they're alright. The villains. Oh, and also, not a villain, but Varric's back. Briefly, but Varric's back. He's awesome. Varric's always awesome. So, the villains, the Red Lotus. I love these guys. Their designs are awesome. Their personalities are awesome. They're a great, just little, I don't even know, not a trifecta, but like just this elite 4 benders. One's an airbender, one's an earthbender, one's a waterbender, and one's a firebender. But I like that they're all unique. The earthbender can lava bend. The waterbender has no arms, so she uses her water as like arm whips. The firebender is a combustion bender. I believe that's what it's called. I'm not positive on that. That's what I'm calling it. She's basically Sparky Sparky Boom Woman. She shoots the thing from the eyeball forehead thing like the other guy did in season 3 of the original Avatar. And like I said, Zahir's an airbender. So they all have a little bit of a unique thing going on. You could say Zahir doesn't, but he learns to fly, which is different from any other airbender. And he does the sucking the oxygen out, which is, fucking awesome. But yeah, great designs, great characters. Zahir is an amazing villain. His ideology, his voice, his presence on screen. He is so much better than Unalaq. It is insane, the difference. Unalaq it's night and day how much of a better villain Zahir is. So those are the villains, and that pretty much wraps up the characters. So now we'll move on to the pros and cons. Okay, so for the pros and cons, I like that there's a sense of adventure in this season. They're going around to different cities by, I believe, airship, but either way, they're going around to different cities. They go to these rocky landscapes, these other cities. They go to the big metal city that's run by Lin's sister. The metal city has a great design. I love how the dome comes together to protect it at night. Just a great design on the whole metal city. I love that. I forget what it's called, but it's awesome. We get, again, the airbenders. They're great. Seeing some of the spirits mixed with the humans, it's cool to see in the background here and there, even though they're not focusing on it, but it still looks very nice. The lack of romance from Mako, Asami, and Korra is fantastic. I love that. Oh, there we go. That, I just remembered. We do get a little bit with Bolin and Mako in terms of character development when we see their family in Ba Sing Se. Which, by the way, they go to Ba Sing Se, which is really cool. Man, that city cannot catch a break. Always corrupt, man, Ba Sing Se. But yeah, they do meet their family, and he like gives his scarf to his grandma and everything. That was kind of cool. I forgot about that. There you go. What's another pro? The villains, obviously, they're better. The action's great. The final fight between Korra and Zahir is fantastic. It's what you'd want to see from an Avatar finale. It's got the martial arts, but it has the big flying around, bombastic, lifting up giant pieces of earth and throwing them. It's very, very good. It's a very good finale. Much better than the finale of Season 2. Earth Queen's death, definitely, because the point where the Earth Queen dies and how the Earth Queen dies is so harsh for like the kind of show this is and like its demographic on TV that when you see the oxygen get sucked out of her and she dies, it's kind of off screen or whatever, but you know what I mean. It sets the bar of danger so high. When you see Korra's dad fall off a cliff or you see something happen to a certain character, you don't know if they're going to live or not because they killed off the Earth Queen at the perfect time. That was the perfect moment to kill off a character. It raised the sense of danger so much. That was fantastic writing. Bolin, lava bending, badass. Just, lava bending's awesome. Lava bending as a concept is great as well. I was kind of iffy on it when I first saw it, if you guys have seen my older reviews. But I kind of realized that, well, if you can freeze water by lowering its temperature with bending, then it would make sense that you could raise the temperature of Earth and thus turn it into lava. So, forgiven. I love it now. I think I went from being a little iffy on it to fucking thinking it's awesome. So, yeah, and I can't really think of any more pros right now, but if I think of more, I'll mix them in. But now I'll talk about the cons. Is there anything bad? No, I'm just kidding. It is a little unexplained how everyone kind of gets airbending. At least I don't remember if it was properly explained, but it does get addressed a little bit, but it's not, you know, it's a little iffy. So that's kind of a con. You know, everyone's like airbending now, and there's no real solid explanation. But honestly, I can't think of much else. The season segues into the fourth season very well, with, you know, more pros, I should say, with Jinora becoming an airbender, or an airbending master, I should say. And she has the tattoos, and they shaved her head. She looks exactly like Aang. It's hilarious. And Korra's, like, paralyzed in a fucking wheelchair because of the poison that Zahir put in her. So, yeah, but I can't think of much else to complain about in this season, honestly. It's tightly written. It's quickly paced. It doesn't meander around too much. And it's just well animated. It's got great story progression. It's got great story impact. It's just a phenomenal season, so that's really all I have to say. If I think of anything else, I'll edit it in or mention it in my Season 4 video. But for now, that's all I have to say. Again, don't remember everything. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it was still a fantastic season. Okay, I just remembered 3 other things that are awesome. Zuko, Old Man Zuko, that was awesome. His voice isn't Dante Bosco, but you can't really expect him to do an old man voice. It's okay. It's still Zuko. It's still awesome. He doesn't do much, but it's great seeing him. Also, I want to mention, I forget her name, but the combustion woman chick who could shoot the blast from her eyes, or say beams, the explosions from her eyes, her death's fucking badass. Like, when Lynn's sister takes the armor, traps her head right when she's about to fire off an explosion, and it just blows up in her face, trapped at point blank. Awesome death. I loved that. Also, Tenzin versus the Red Lotus. First it's Tenzin versus Zahir, which is a badass fight, but then he's fighting off all of them at once, and he's beaten and bloody. Well, not bloodied, because, you know, but he's beaten and bruised, and it's awesome. It's a great scene as well. Sucks that Tenzin got, you know, so beat up, but, you know, and I thought he might die, because the way the Earth Queen went out, you know, but, hey, it just adds to the sense of danger, but no, he didn't, but still. So yeah, that's really all I have to say now that I remembered those last few things. So, oh yeah, wait, hold on, before the clap, hold on, let's rate this thing. I'm giving this season an 11 out of 10. It gets a perfect score from me. I mean, maybe not an 11, maybe a 10 out of 10, because it maybe doesn't go to that what the fuck amazing level, but it's still very, very good. I give it like a 10 to a 10.5. Maybe I'll save the 11 for something even, greater down the line in the Avatar series. I mean, the entire franchise in general gets an 11 out of 10, obviously. But I'll probably give just this season 10.5. It's fantastic. So, thanks for watching this video. Tell me what you guys think of The Legend of Korra Book 3 Change in the comments section below. Follow me on Instagram if you would please. Rate this video. A thumbs up would be fantastic. Subscribe if you haven't already if you like what you've seen here, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.